Welcome to Comadres y Comics. Comadres y Comics is a podcast hosted by 3 Latina women.
We highlight the Latinx presence in the comic book industry as creators, characters, and fans.
Join us as we talk chisme, comics, fandom, and beer.
Hello and welcome everybody to a new episode of Comadres y Comics. We are your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hi.
Here we are. Women's History Month. Here we are.
Mes
So
de las
excited.
mujeres. Yes.
Exacto. Anyway, guys, we just saw that Kristen completed the LA Marathon.
Woo! Yes.
Yay!
What number of marathon is this for you?
This is my 11th
Wow.
full marathon and my 8th Los Angeles marathon.
Wow.
And it is the only marathon that I've ever done where I almost died.
Oh my God. What? What the hell?
Well, this is for this.
So
Yeah.
it was a high of 86 degrees,
Yeah.
supposed to be, but it was actually, it got up to be, I think 87 was the highest that I saw. And in running, there is the rule of 10 that whatever degree it is, while you're running, it feels like it's 10 degrees hotter, which means that it felt like it was 97 degrees that I was running in. And
hell no.
because I am a slower runner to begin with, I'm out there way longer than most people. My normal pace has me finishing at 6.5 hours. And that's about a 15-minute mile. And I finished in 8 hours this last Sunday because the last 3 miles I had to just walk because I was I didn't feel good. I started feeling nauseous. I started feeling a little bit dizzy, but I know I had to finish. And the two biggest mistakes that I made was one, when I get hot, I don't eat. And you're out there for 8 hours. You need to eat. You need to fuel. Your body needs fuel to move and get you across the finish line. So that was my first mistake. My second mistake is because I run with my phone in my hand, there were people out there with water hoses and pitchers of water dumping it on people. But because I had my phone in my hand, I avoided every single one of them because I didn't want my phone to get wet. And so those were two of my biggest mistakes that I made. My friends and the other people in my running group who got wet and were doing all that were fine. And I'm the one who, I crossed the finish line. It was another mile to the shuttle back to the hotel. By the time I got onto the shuttle, I was closing my eyes and opening them, and all I could see was dark spots. My hearing went, then my vision went. And next thing I know, my friend was smacking me in my face, yelling my name. And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you hitting me? And they're like, you threw up all over the place. And I'm like, shut up. No, I didn't. And I looked down and there was puke all down the front of my shirt.
Oh, Kristen.
Oh my God.
There were people on the bus who were already on the phone to 911 calling the ambulance and telling them where to come. And there was this woman that was like, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? And I woke up out of this stupor, passing out, and she's yelling at me, how old are you? And I'm like, what is going on? And I don't remember saying this, but my friend said, apparently I told her, I'm fine. I just fell asleep. So I did not feel well that whole bus ride back, but I did not pass out again. And I got back. I took a shower. I went and got something to eat and I felt fine. But yeah, I was definitely very overheated.
That sounds like heat stroke. Like you had heat stroke.
Yes.
Jesus.
And you know,
Kristen.
I Googled what is heat stroke, and they're like, that's when your body's temperature goes to 104.
Oh, hell no.
And I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Good Lord, dude. Oh my God. That sounds horrible.
So,
Why
but
did
I
you
wasn't
do that to yourself?
dehydrated. I
Okay.
got the hydration IV drip the day before because I knew it was going to be hot. And I'm like, I've always wanted to do this, so I'm going to try it out. Even after all that and how I felt and passed out and everything, I was peeing clear still when I got home. So it's not I
Not a
wasn't dehydrated, it
dehydration.
was
It's a heat
100%
stroke thing. Yeah.
heat
Then,
exhaustion or heat stroke. Yeah.
mhm.
Whoa. Good God.
In these
Oh, I
cases,
just,
the
oh my
sun is
God.
your enemy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around that. That's just incredibly crazy. Oh my gosh. Whew. I'm sorry. I just can't shake it. Like, I just can't imagine you doing that in a bus. And yeah, like, your friend slapping you. Wake up! Oh, hell no. Oh, wow. And did 911 even respond? Did they come
They
over?
didn't come because the woman was on the phone telling them she's awake now, and they were asking her questions about me, and then they were asking me questions, and I was answering. Apparently, I don't remember, and they asked
Whoa.
my friend, "Is she okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, she's back to normal now." So.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. At least you had somebody there that knew you. Imagine
Yeah.
if you would have been there by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Oh
Oh,
my god. Oh, Kristen.
was it projectile vomit? That's the last question I'll ask.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't, but he did say the amount of vomit that came out of your mouth. He said, I wish he would have been. He said it came out my nose.
Oh, I hate that. It burns so bad. Don't ask me how I know.
It was the chili cheese dog you ate.
It affected her.
Oh.
It affected her performance.
For those of you who do not follow her on Facebook, she posted a photo where they were giving away free chili cheese dogs to runners, and she was asking, should I have one, should I not? And I was like, I'm not gonna have an opinion, but I don't think she should. And she got one anyway. So I was like, oh hell no. That was oh heck no.
Well, what I
Imagine- oh,
didn't
it's free
show
food.
because I just was in a hurry, and I was like, on the other side of the street from the chili cheese dog, they were giving away Jose Cuervo shots.
Good God.
Nice.
Are they trying to kill you guys? Oh
No, they're
Lord.
trying to give you
Oh,
motivation.
and also little cups with mimosas in it.
Wow.
Sick.
Wow.
Shit. When did the marathon become so fucking cool? Holy fuck.
I know. My
Well,
gosh.
if you're interested in doing a party race, I highly recommend you do San Diego half.
Mhm.
At mile 4, there is a neighborhood that goes around. The street goes around into like a horseshoe, and there's houses in the middle of the horseshoe and then on the outside of the horseshoe. And almost every single house has a table out front with beer, shots, anything you could ask for. And you just go from table to table. And then outside of that neighborhood, there's lots of people on the side giving cans of beer and whatever. I finished that half almost peeing my pants because I was so full of beer and liquid, but also drunk. And it was the best, funnest half marathon I ever did.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
That sounds
I
fun.
see.
Oh my god.
Wow. But that
it
sounds
took me an extra hour to finish. I usually run a half in 3 hours, and I finished in 4. Because I had to keep stopping
Wow.
to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
bet.
so
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
Oh my god, I'm kind of like, because I've been training to do a 65-mile bike ride with friends, and the last time we were out, we pushed it to like whatchamacallit, that we all bike together. We pushed it to like 38 miles, and but stupid me, because I only had like 3 hours of sleep and I didn't eat anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah. When we were like coming back, and I get like on mile like 30, I want to say, I had to be like, okay, you guys, we gotta stop. I need to go lie down, because my vision was like getting dark, and like said,
Mhm.
like, you're right, like my sound didn't go, but it sounded further away, and I'm just like, that's
Yeah.
not right. And so I had to like stop. I had to put my bike down. I had to sit down, and then they gave me like, well, we had like, we take granola and stuff like that, and water. And I had a water bottle with IVF, the liquid IVF in it. And then after that, I felt like I was just like, okay, I'm good.
Well, see, and for
Yeah.
me, I knew that I was getting to the point where it was going to go all bad,
Mhm.
but I had to get to the shuttle by 4:00. That was the very last shuttle back to the hotel. And there was a point in time where I was walking to the shuttle and I saw a little sliver of shade, and I'm like, I have to sit down. I literally just sat on the ground, and I sat there and I was just like rocking back and forth with my eyes closed. And then I looked at the clock and it was 3:44, and I was still like about half a mile away from
Yeah. Oh my god.
So I forced myself to get up and just go to the bus, and it was too much.
Yeah.
My body was like, bitch, we did enough.
That's one of the things, is like kind of like knowing how your body responds to, because in your case, like, it was heat stroke, and how many of us actually suffer from heat stroke that we know that that's what we're being affected by. And like,
Right, yeah.
and I remember for me, for my bike, I knew what the problem was. I knew that I didn't have enough sleep, that I was probably dehydrated, and that I needed some kind of food. And once I addressed those problems, I was able to get better. But with heat stroke, how do you, like, that's one of the things, though they say, like, what's so deadly about the desert and the people who die, like, in Death Valley and stuff like that, is that they don't even know that they have heat stroke. They just,
Right, yeah.
like, they just get exhausted, and then, boom.
Yeah, in those last 3 miles, there was no shade at all. And it was already like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was just beating down.
Yeah.
And not only could you feel it coming from the top, but it was emanating back in your face from the asphalt. So.
Oh my God. Oh.
Well,
geez.
I'm glad you lived. I would have missed you.
Yes. Yes, definitely. My God, that's just, that's a horror story right there. Ooh, girl. I had no idea that that's what you went through. I mean, I saw the picture, but I was like, I just didn't put two and two together. That's crazy.
Yeah. The picture of me with throw up all over the front
oh
of
my God.
Yeah, I saw that, but I thought maybe somebody gave you chocolate ice cream and it fell on your chest.
God.
But then you had a face, and I was like, what happened? And then Eddie made a comment. I was like, oh, that's what happened. Got it. Okay. Jeez, that's fucking scary, dude. I can't believe you survived that. And I can't believe you put yourself through that. Oh my God. Do you have any recommendations or any ideas of what you're going to do to prevent that from happening next time?
Well, yeah, if it's hot again like that during a race, I have to take advantage of the people offering the water hose to water me down. There were people with pitchers of water just pouring it on top of your head, and I kept telling them no because I didn't want to get my phone wet. So I did have a towel that I just had on my head, but it wasn't enough. Like, I needed my whole body to just be cooled down all at once. So and then also, and I even told, I'm a mentor for my run group, and I told them in the beginning, look, this is what happens to me, and I know that it's bad. I'm going to tell you right now, eat, even if you don't want to, you have to eat. And I didn't listen to my own advice.
Oh Lord. Oh my God. Well, that's word of caution for all of you who want to do a marathon at some point in your life. So
or
wow.
any exercise,
we're glad
really.
you survived. Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
And or other that, or just train well enough to run fast, because the winner finished in 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh Lord.
I was out there 4 times the amount of time it took him.
It just shows you, like, there's some people, like, maybe like their peak in this format, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't even imagine. And the weird thing, I was watching your post and I was like in bed the whole day. Like I only got up to go to the restroom and eat, and then I went right back to bed. Yeah.
One of those days.
It was one of those days. It was the first weekend Frank was gone, so I was like, oh, like while I was working, I was good. But then on Saturday, I was with my nephew and we did gardening and stuff. But then on Sunday, it was just like it kind of hit me emotionally. Like, oh no, I'm not ready to get up from bed. I'm not doing this today. Like, I'm not gonna live today. I'm just gonna exist in this plane and on this mattress for today. And now I feel better. But yeah. Yeah, one of those days. But anyway, that was a freaking crazy story. That was a nightmarish story. I can't believe it. Like, I didn't know the full scope of it, and now I'm just scared, period. Like, I think that's really frightening. But I'm glad you're feeling better. And you look great. You look great. So that's very important too.
Yeah,
You look
I
healthy.
felt fine. And I didn't tell Eddie what happened until I came home the
Oh
next
my
day.
god.
Oh, good.
Because I didn't want him to be worried, because
To be
I knew I
worried.
felt fine, and I knew that after a shower and food and stuff that I felt okay. But I knew that if I told him or told anybody, that they would worry because that happened. So I didn't say anything and I didn't post anything till the next day.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, that was a good plan. But besides that, you had friends who knew what happened, so
Right, yeah.
they would check up on you.
Yes.
So, without having the need to worry anybody else. That's good. Oh, whew, scary stuff. All right, guys, now it's time for Chisme de la Semana. And Kristen, do you have some chisme for us today?
Well, the chisme that's going on right now in the comic book industry is that it's like it's 2021 all over again, with regards to speculators and new number ones. We have seen a huge blow up of indie number one books over the last 3 weeks. And I was reading an article, and I'll share the article in the links in our notes, that said that it looks like, looking back at the history of when all of this kind of blew up, that it kind of started with Absolute Batman 15, which is the first appearance of Absolute Joker. 15 or 18? I don't remember. 15, I think.
I think it was 15.
Yeah. Where 300,000 issues were pre-ordered. Can you imagine 300,000 issues? And that book just flew off the shelves. The first week it was selling for 30. The second week it dropped down to 15, but was still really selling high. And it was the first time in a really long time that a comic book was garnering a lot of attention and a lot of speculation. And of course, it's the first appearance of a huge character in DC universe. And even though this is an Elseworld story, it is an absolute story. The Joker is still an iconic character, and so it got a lot of attention and really drove the price up. And so after that, we saw a book called Dork. D''ORC, which was an Image number one, and it's this whimsical story about a half dwarf, half orc who has some kind of like magical mission that he has to go on with his trusty talking shield, and his best friend is the ghost of a chicken head that he accidentally cut off. Anyway, that book sold out, I want to say before it even hit the shelves, and then a second printing went to second printing before the number one even got to the shelves, and then a third printing came out, and the third printing is still selling out at the distribution level. So then we had a book called White Sky. Same thing. It sold out and was on back order before it even went on sale. And we've been every week seeing a new book happen. This week it was Tigress and 51. And there was a book called something robots. I can't remember, but it's based on a video game. Murder drones. And we're also seeing a lot of non-traditional comic book writers come to the industry. So, like I'm saying, video game writers are coming to comics, and the video game players are chasing those books because they're fans of those video games. Even if the book that's being written has nothing to do with the video game they like, they just like the storyline from the video game, so they're giving support to the writer. So a lot of these indie books are very small print runs. And when I say small, I'm saying like 20, 40, 50 compared to that 300 for Absolute Batman. So what's happening is that speculators are saying, hey, number one, this is a small print run. Number two, at FOC, the way the comic book industry works, you order initial orders. But really, the numbers that really count are the numbers that go in by final order cutoff. And that is the number that the printer is taking to indicate how much they're going to print. So at FOC, a speculator can see, oh, hey, this book only is getting 20,000. I'm going to hit that book because it's a low print run. And if it hits, because we're seeing so many things like Beauty on TV right now that is based on a comic book, and all the other movies and TV shows that are based on books and video games that are just crazy popular and driving prices up. So they're speculating that, hey, not only is this going to maybe hit because it's going to be optioned for a TV or a movie, but if it's a low print run, that's even going to, like, look at Walking Dead #1. Yeah, that thing blew up with popularity because of the TV show, but #1 was an extremely low print run when it first came out. Mm-hmm. So that really drives. I got rid of my entire Walking Dead collection because I was like, I'm never going to afford #1. So I got rid of my entire collection. We sold it at the shop. But anyway, so these are just not necessarily readers, but speculators who are just buying the copies up like crazy. And with the addition of online sales channels like Whatnot or eBay Live or some stuff like that, these people are pre-selling these books at inflated prices, making other people get excited about it, and then driving it up on the secondary market. So most comic shops, like I'm going to say most, but I'll just speak for myself. In our shop, if you will have that book on your pull before FOC, you're guaranteed to get it, and you're guaranteed to get it at cover price. If you get it after FOC, but I happen to just order enough because I thought it was a book that was cool, you'll still get it at cover price. But if there is books left over, and we have, in fact, for like a couple of the books that came out last couple of weeks, there were books that by the end of Thursday, they were still on the wall. So we took those books and we sold them on eBay, and we were the ones who got that flip, and we were the ones who made that money. And there's a lot of people out there that are judgmental against local comic shops, saying that's bullshit. Comic shops shouldn't do that. I'm not going to give my business to a shop that does that. And I'm like, hey, you have to know how to work your LCS. Get a pull list, put the book on your pull, and you can have it. But see, it's not about having the book by FOC, because at FOC, you don't know what's going to hit. You don't know what's going to be driven up. And perfect example, we got a phone call from somebody who was like, hey, you got any of those dork #1s? And Eddie's like, no, we're all sold out. And he's like, are you sure? Because I just want to read the book. And then he's like, okay, well, second print's coming out next week. And the guy's like, oh, nah, man, no thanks.
Of course. Not only that, for the people who like do or say that, like, okay, you won't support your local comic book shop that's doing that and like trying to flip a book that, one, you're not even buying in the first place until you see that it's gone up in price. But two, you'll pay the scalpers who are doing this? Like, make it make sense. Right, like, be so fucking for real right now. Oh my God.
So
Wow.
that is the big chisme going on in the comic book industry. And this is what happened in 2021 when everyone had all that COVID money and didn't know what to do with it. And
you should have saved
Pokemon,
it.
Pokemon speculators blew up on YouTube. And there is some gossip that that's what's happening now, that Pokemon speculators are like, hey, let's dip our toes over into comics and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So just like any other bubble, it is bound to burst. We have not really hit anything because we're a new shop. And so when I see a new number one, if nobody has it on their pool, I'm going to order 3, maybe 5. There was one that I ordered 10 of because I ordered 20 and I was so scared because I'm like, oh my God, I hope it sells. It was the first Vertigo number one that came out. Mm-hmm. And I did it because it was Vertigo. And I was like, okay, cross your fingers. And we ended up selling every single copy.
Nice.
But we mostly sold it off the wall. Mm-hmm. But like I'm saying, I'm not taking risks. I don't want to get sucked into the black hole of speculating as a local comic shop, because then we're going to get stuck with books that are just at the end of the day going to go in 99 cents, and that's a loss for us.
Yep.
So I'd rather sell my 3 books than hold on to 100 that I'm not going to sell.
Might go for like $9.99.
Right.
Yeah. That's just fine. That's just good business practice. Oh God.
Incredible. All right, guys, now it's time for On My Radar. And I have something that's on my radar. I recently saw the Netflix comedy special by Marcello Hernandez.
I love
called
Marcello.
American Boy.
Yes.
Yes. I bring this up because his special seemed to me that it was kind of like an homage to the women in his life. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was just such a really great kind of topic for his comedy. Mm-hmm. And I identified with a great deal of what he said. Hilarious. But one of the things that I really was not expecting at all was to actually cry. And I'm getting a little, because like his skit reminded me of my mom. And I was like, oh my God, like this is kind of the universal language, like where we all kind of like see every mom's mom is kind of a little bit like our mom. Like it was just such a beautiful celebration and homage to the women in his life and his mother especially. So being Women's History Month, I think that it should definitely be on your radar. You should definitely watch it. And it's just kind of like, it's como una fiesta para la mujer. And I just really, really enjoyed it. So that's what's on my radar.
Did you say Netflix?
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay,
funny
cool.
side note, Marcello, he's pretty active online, but he's also on SNL. He is featured a lot on there, so if you want to see more of him, he is on SNL. He has made a lot of YouTube appearances as well. There's an incredible interview that he does with Brittany Broski. So funny. 100%. It's like 15, 30 minutes maybe, and it's hilarious. So if you want more Marcello, he's a great comedian. One of those like really like good, like not even up and coming, because he's already like he's here, and I think more people are being aware of him. Super hilarious. I love him. So definitely check him out on SNL, where he's done some really fun skits. Some of them, I think the most popular right now is the ones that he did with Bad Bunny, and the Brittany Broski one. That one's really good.
Oh yeah, I saw those Bad Bunny ones. They're funny.
But yeah, and he actually his mom is the one who presents him into his special, but you definitely need to watch it. It's like I don't know, it's sort of like a La Fiesta de tu Tía, like everybody's there and dancing and laughing, and it was really, really great. I really highly recommend it. What's on your radar, Kristen?
So for me, I have a book called The Other Half, and it's an Ignition Press book. And it's on my radar because it's a very cool slice of life book that kind of brings some mystery and intrigue, but all within the realm of just normal people living their life. And The Other Half came out this week. It's new this week, so it came out on March 10th. And the whole premise is basically how it's a same-sex couple, Ethan and Henry, and they are complete opposites, which is kind of like one of the themes of the book. And Ethan comes from a very, very wealthy family, high society family. And within the first issue, we learned that his parents are not supportive of his marriage to Henry. And Henry is like a blue collar private investigator. His bread and butter is catching cheaters and taking pictures of them having philandering afternoons through windows. And it is the story of a friend of theirs. I don't remember. I think Victoria was her name. Has a museum, or she curates a museum, and she has the opportunity to get the Nobility Diamond as part of their display. And it's this big deal. It's this diamond that is like the biggest one in existence. It's been passed down generation after generation in this family, who the last of that family line is now donating it because there's no one in her family left to pass it down to. And so Henry is the PI, and they are enlisted by Victoria to make sure that this diamond is not stealable. So Henry gets some of his informants to come and try to steal it, and they're like, nope, I can't do it. All the things that you have in place, the what do you call it? The infrared and the everything that the security system that you have is great. It works. It's fine. I can't do it. You're good. Well, lo and behold, what happens the next day? The diamond is missing. And so they are now going to have to find out what happened and clear Ethan's name, because Ethan was given the codes and the keys. And so since he had access, he is the one that everyone's looking at. So a kind of fun little thing is, because they are each known in their own circles, they are now swapping identities. And Henry is going to go and try to be in a socialite and get information from that society. And then Ethan is going to be a PI and talk it within the PI circles and try to get that information. So it was a very good first issue. It was very fun, funny, and also, like I said, full of mystery and intrigue, and lots of LGBTQ characters as well. So the other half by Ignition Press, and it's just, I think, a 4-issue series.
That sounds really cool.
That sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun. All right, guys, now it's time for our book review. What are we reviewing today?
So today we are reviewing El Toro and Friends Tough Times. Very, very cute.
Very cute.
So right here in the back it says, meet El Toro and all his friends. How did the rookie kid Toro become the luchador we know and love? It wasn't easy. Join El Toro and friends in the ring as they fight their way through tough times. And this is drawn by Raul III, written and drawn by Raul III, with colors by Elaine Bay. And Raul III was born in Texas and grew up going back and forth between El Paso and Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. He is the New York Times bestselling 3-time Pura Belpre award-winning author-illustrator of the World of Vamos books, and now proudly lives in Medford, Massachusetts with his collaborator and fellow artist Elaine Bay and their son Raul IV.
Ooh, passing down the line.
Yeah.
And don't forget that we first were introduced to Raul III as the artist in Lowriders in Space.
I love that series. Yes. I'll always love that series.
Yeah. And actually, I was a little disappointed that this whole book was not drawn in ballpoint.
I think maybe it was. It's just that the colors.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely
Maybe.
sure. It does look.
Yeah, but you know, the visually, you could look at some of that art in the other books and just be like, that's what it looks like. I don't know if that's what he does, but that's what it looks like. But you can definitely, regardless of what medium he uses, what kind of pencils, whatever, you can tell his style. It's very, very stylized to him. And I recognized it right away when I saw this book in solicitation. And then when I read it, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was him.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it is just like a young reader's book, but it was so cute.
I love this. Actually, I do know a child. My niece.
Right.
I want to buy all of these and like send them to my brother so that she can have like this, because it's such a cute book and it's so charming. That is what immediately grabbed me when Lowriders in Space, when I think I first saw it at Modesto. At Modesto. Is like the artwork is so charming. I love the colors. You're right, it is such a distinct, like who's that guy, you have the cat clock from him. He kind of does.
Oh yeah,
Montijo, Brody.
Yeah. Road Montijo.
Montijo. Kind of similar, but still very, very different. It's kind of like a cartoony, like very almost like Looney Tunes-esque, but with like its own spin. I want to say it's kind of hard to describe unless like you yourself like see it. Let me see if I can. Sorry, I've got the blur on my camera because I don't want you guys to see my filthy room, but it's very distinct and I love it. Like, and it's also such a, like, there's always, specifically what this children's book is about is how do you deal with tough times. And I have always been a proponent, not opponent of talking to children about tough topics. Death, like big, I'm thinking like the Paw Patrol one, but like not the Ice Patrol one that
oh right, yeah.
Abigail? I'm so sorry. But the one that talked about like ICE immigrations and stuff like that in language kids could understand. Things
the Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Like anything that involves like kind of heavy topics, but like that you either have to talk to your children about, or something, Lord forbid, something happens and then you have to talk to them about it. I think it's always better to introduce children, maybe not early, but more as a teaching tool as well, that these things happen, that they should be familiar and comfortable with hardship, even not them specifically going through hardship, but what hardship is, how to process emotions. Like, and kids can't be happy all the time. They aren't happy all the time. And because this world is so new to them, that sometimes they don't have the language for it. And this is a way that you can, introducing it to them in a timely, but also in a controlled setting, so that they can learn how to deal and how to process their emotions and won't put a word to what it is that they're feeling. And I think this does such a great job of doing that. Like, because in this book, El Toro, and we learn that he's a full-grown, like, adult luchador, but he is reflecting on his past as Kid Toro, and he basically goes through a couple of matches where he loses. He's on a losing streak, and he starts feeling down upon himself, but then he is reminded, or he is helped to basically work through that so that he can go back to, if not necessarily winning, but he does, then having the motivation and the will to keep trying, because sometimes you can't win all of them, but the what matters is that you pick yourself up and you try again. And that's what this book is about. It's about a way of telling children to not give up on what their desires are as well. And so I love that. I think the language was great. The visuals, of course, are absolutely beautiful and so charming. I loved it. Like immediately, I felt attached to Kid Toro and El Toro too as well. And I like I really loved it, and I'm gonna give it to the nearest child that is related to me, my niece.
Well, I very much loved it as well. I love the colors. They were really, really great. I got a sense of it being the art is similar to maybe like the I don't want to say hieroglyphics, but like the graphics that come out of like Mexico.
Oh,
That's kind of what I got a feel for
the
from the art.
pictographs. They're not pictographs. Pictographs are different, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
But you know what I'm saying. Um, but also what I really loved about it is there is an element of not Spanglish, but it's bilingual. It's both English and Spanish, and I really really like that. Because that way you can actually like even learn some words in Spanish if you're a kid. That mainly maybe your parents are talking to you in English, but it gives you key words where you can learn Spanish as well. So I really really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I found all the names to be super funny, like of all the
Yeah.
luchadores. Though that was it made me laugh out loud because there's like Oink Oink, which I thought was so cute. But and then Ricky Raton, I mean, and then you got this one of my favorite was I think it was El Desierto.
Oh yeah.
Um and that one was like super freaking cool. The guy's a cactus and
Mm-hmm.
like el nopal en la frente, and he looks totally like the desert, el desierto, and I really he's like one of my favorites because the look he has is so like it almost looks like Element Man or something. It's just really 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 cool.
Here you can see
And then
yours.
yeah, there was one que la prickly
Mm-hmm.
pear, which we all know is la aceituna de la tuna de los nopales.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I really really loved it. I like some of like most of the pages made me smile because it was just very endearing, very cute, very nice for kids to read with them. I'm excited. I can't wait to read it to my nephew.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. What about you, Kristen?
Well, it was very timely for me, given the whole story that I just told you about my near-death experience. And I am often somebody who holds myself to very high standards. And when I don't accomplish something as well as I had hoped to, or that I thought I would, or don't accomplish it at all, like Kid Toro here in this book, I get very, very down on myself and get frustrated. And it was actually very similar to our guest speaker that my running group had on Sunday before the race, or on Saturday before the race on Sunday. Alexi Papas, who was an Olympian runner, and she came and she gave kind of like a motivational speech. And her big her big point that she was making was because she knew it was going to be hot, and she's like, you're not going to get a PR. Just accept that right now. You're not going to get a PR. It's going to be hot tomorrow. You're going to have to slow down. But that is not a loss to you. That is not something that is not valuable. You need to be someone who values progress. And the progress that you've made training for 6 months and coming now and doing this marathon of 26.2 miles on Sunday, that is all progress. And you did it, you completed it, you finished it. You're a stronger runner for it, you're a stronger person for it. And that means something. And that actually really resonated with me because I was already upset that I wasn't going to do better this year than I did last year, because last year I was in the middle of that medical trial, and the medication made me nauseous. And I also finished in 8 hours last year, which was an hour and a half more than what I usually do. And so I was already upset. And this book actually really made me remember what Alexis said at the speech, And also this here, it says every challenge has made you better, stronger, and nobody can take that away from you.
That's wonderful. I like that.
It is.
like
Yeah.
that.
I would, and I just, even looking at the back, I do remember that I think we read Vamos, or it was given to us at some point, because I remember these characters. Vamos, let's go to the market and
That's
stuff
right.
like that.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe that might have been maybe not exactly his first venture into like his own children's lit, because
I do remember this
Yeah.
book. I don't remember reading it, but I know I've seen the cover
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was given to us in like a big pile of other like children's book or something, or it's one of those mysterious books that was given to us and that we never got around to.
I have many of those in piles around my house.
I have some right here with me right now, but but yeah,
For sure.
sometimes I feel like my books are breeding, and I don't know where some of these books are coming from, but they're here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're ready to rate the book. What is our rating scale?
So our rating scale is a scale of 1 to 3 conchas. 3 conchas being the most conchas that Jen's mom ever let her eat in one sitting. So that was the best. And then if it's a book that doesn't fit on our rating scale for whatever reason, we give our own personalized rating.
I'm gonna go first. I loved the art. Like I said, it reminded me of like old Mexico. And I love the story and the message, and I'm endeared with all the characters, especially like Oink Oink. That's like my girl, my pals. And just the artwork, I really and the very charming names of all the luchadores that El Torito has fought, which I thought was really cute. So I'm gonna give it the whole panaderia. What about you guys?
So this is Kristen, and I loved it from beginning to end. And like I said, the message really resonated with me right now personally, which I always like to tell people. All ages does not mean kids book. It means all ages. No matter how old you are, you're going to get something out of that book. And I definitely got something out of this book. And just like Jen said, I think it's important for children to learn how to deal with their emotions in a positive way, and to learn that losing is not always losing, that there is success in the experience and lessons that you learn. So the whole panaderia.
This is Jen, and I am also giving it the entire panaderia, capa champurrado, like all the what is the wrestling, the champion title belt or whatever. Gets one of those too. It was really good. It was really charming. I have found that I think I'm always gonna love whatever Raul does, because he's such a great artist. So definitely check it out for yourself, for the nearest child in your life, if there is one, or hell, like donate it to one of like a library or like or a school or something. I think it's really, really good.
And that has been our book review. And now it's time for En la Librería. Jen, what do you have for us today?
So today I have for you The Scorpion and the Queen #2, a sapphic romance adventure. The deadly scorpion chases our heroines through a scorching desert as the royal family schemes. The 22-page second of a 5-issue installment. I really, really wish I had found this when it was issue #1, because it is cool AF. Like, oh my god, even just seeing it, it's giving Lawrence of Arabia. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
1001 Nights kind of vibes to it. But this is being made by Wells Thompson, who is a comic book writer and editor, co-author of Descent into Dread, Mechaton, Frankenstein the Unconquered, and Smut, which I believe won a Ringo Award. Author of The Catskin and the Rose, which is issue #1 of this one. He's featured in By Visibility, and from the Static Anthologies. Loves cats, archery, guitar, and gardening. So I'm just going to read the campaign page that they have right here. The Scorpion and the Queen is a 5-issue adventure romance comic miniseries about fighting for your place in the world, protecting what you love, and rejecting the prescribed roles society places on you. It's an incredibly sapphic sequel miniseries to Kickstarter smash hit The Catskin and the Rose that features some of the best queer indie comic artists in the world. Think Princess Bride meets Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant. And then it cuts to our two heroines and a sort of a little preview of how they got to know each other. A duel to the death, a change of heart, an unexpected romance, a daring escape. Iselda and Camille have known each other for all of 2 weeks, but find themselves on the run from a tyrant, stalked by a mysterious assassin, and madly in love. With nothing but the clothes on their backs, the swords at their sides, and 2 stolen camels, they'll have to make their way through the desert and book passage on a ship in the hopes of getting away from all this madness. In this 22-page installment, we're witness to a devastating ambush and fight for survival as the Scorpion closes in on his target. Meanwhile, the Queen schemes in the shadows of the kingdom and puts her spoiled son in his place. Will they be able to get away and have their happily ever after, or will the Scorpion catch up to them first? Find out in The Scorpion and the Queen. A delightful story of love blossoming against all odds in the most unlikely of partners, sharply written and agilely drawn by folks who understand just how sexy a good sword fight is. And this is a review of by Jadzia Alexrod, writer of Galaxy, The Prettiest Star. So this campaign has actually already met its goal. It had a goal of $6,000. It's currently at $6,411 with 296 backers and 12 days to go. They have actually just released their stretch goals, but you can always make a pledge without expecting a reward. But the base pledge starts at $8 for the digital copy of The Scorpion and the Queen #2. If you want the physical copy, it is $12. And then they have the digital catch-up, which is the issue #1 of Scorpion and the Queen, and issue #2, that one is $13. If you want the physical versions of issues 1 and 2, it's $18. And then if you want the Catskin and the Rose, which is the issue that sets all of this in place, because The Scorpion and the Queen is a sequel to this one. The digital catch-up series, which includes the Catskin and the Rose, Scorpion and Queen #1, and Scorpion and Queen #2, is $25. Then they have different cover variants as well. Scorpion and the Queen goodie bag, and all of these covers B, C, and the goodie bag are $25. And then there's a physical catch-up one, which means all the books in physical, that's $40. And then there's a holofoil cover that's also $40. Then they have a couple of other ones. All of their early bird specials are gone, tragically. But definitely check it out. The artwork is amazing. Like, it really is giving Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant meets not only Princess Bride, but like I said, like 1001 Arabian Nights. And I'm like so in love with this already. It looks so good. Definitely check it out. It is The Scorpion and the Queen #2 on Kickstarter.
Sounds groovy. All right, guys, now it's time for Juntos y Fuertes. Kristen, what do you have for us today?
So today I have this Latina-owned company called Not Dead Threads. And it is a company that I discovered when I was at the Los Angeles Marathon Expo. You go to pick up your bib at the expo, and part of the expo is a bunch of booths with vendors selling items. And I happened to come across this booth, and I looked in, And it was this skeleton who had like a hat on, like a runner's hat, and it said carb loading, and the skeleton had pan dulce in their hands. And I was like, oh my God, I want that shirt. And I walked in and I'm looking around and I noticed right away that everything is very Latino centric. And so I'm looking and I'm like picking things out that I want. And there's some stickers that says run all the miles, drink all the brews. I'm like, I want that one. And there was one that said run cabrones. I want that one. There was just so many cool things. And I asked them, oh my God, is this your company? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, it's so cool. I'm like, where are you located? Are you local? And I'm like, no, we're from Fresno. And I'm like, you're from Fresno. I'm from Hanford. And then someone else is like, I'm from Lemoore. And I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we were bonding.
Unite.
Central Valley girls unite.
The fact that we are all from the Central Valley. But basically, Not Dead Threads Running Company exists to remind people that movement is for everyone. Whether you're fast or slow, on the road or on the trail, chasing your first mile or your 100th, we see you. We create apparel that empowers you to keep going, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Because if you're still moving, you're still winning. Like I said, a lot of the designs and things are very Latino-centric. They have shirts, they have hats, they have tank tops, they have mugs, they have stickers and pins. And those were the ones that I really was excited for because they had some really cool ones. And so there's one that says chingona. There's a shirt that says corre, aquí viene el cucuy.
I love that.
Yeah, so you can check out what they have at notdeadthreads.com, and that's NOTDEADTHREADS. And I told them about our podcast and that we focus on the Latinx representation in the comic industry. And I told them, honestly, what you're doing here is also art, and I would love to share that. So notdeadthread.com, check it out, and I guarantee you're going to find something that you would like.
Oh man,
Definitely.
that sounds super cool. Yeah, that's imagine wearing a shirt like that and just causing people to just break out in laughter. That's so cool. All right, guys, now it's time for saludos. And saludos, because it's Women's History Month, we're going to do like a highlight on a woman in history who has made a big impact in the world, not just our community, but I think the world. Saludos goes out today to Dolores Huerta. She was born in 1930 and is a legendary labor leader, civil rights activist, and feminist who co-founded the United Farm Workers UFW with Cesar Chavez in 1962. Known for her phrase, "Sí se puede," which we all are familiar with. Which you guys know means yes, you can. Pero se escucha mejor en español. Sí se puede.
Always.
So it's the coolest. She dedicated her life to advocating for farm workers, immigrants, and women's rights. And you guys know that you can read about her in the book Sí se puede, which was from Julio Anta, and who has several other stories about other amazing characters in history. And also, where can they read about Dolores Huerta, Kristen?
Yeah, so don't forget that Henry Barajas, who is very well known for his take on historical events and people, he did a like what is it when it's a comic? A bio comic
Yeah.
on Dolores Huerta for a university, I believe. And you can read it for free online, and I'm just going to look it up really fast here to see if we can get you that information. But it's Historias de Resistencia, Dolores Huerta, and you can find it at Actually, you can find it on his Substack, Latinx Press Substack. It's Civics for All Comics Group. And it is the the NYC Department of Education. And it was printed in, gosh, it seems like so long ago, spring 2024. It's already been out for quite some time.
Dang.
And who knows what episode we recorded and reviewed it on, but we did. So you can just Google that as well.
Don't fret, guys, because like I've said before, if you're driving while listening to us or working while listening to us, we're going to always have links and all that information in the history and the bio of the episode.
Yes. So I found the link, and it is We Teach NYC. So weteachnyc.org, and you can go on there and read Historias de Resistencia #1, The Plight of Farm Workers and Union Organizers by Henry Barajas.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Where can they find us, Kristen, if they've just discovered us in the middle of some kind of YouTube algorithm, or maybe I don't know, some kind of weird Facebook algorithm?
So you can find us, as always, on our website at comadresycomics.com, where you can find links to our socials. We are on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're even on X still. And if you are only listening to this, then you might not know that you can also watch our episodes on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Comadres y Comics, and you will find us there. And as always, you can send us an email with questions, comments, complaints, suggestions at comadresycomics@gmail.com.
Yes. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Thank you for listening. We have been your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jen.
Bye, guys.
Bye.